Hello, Siba. Welcome. I'm just sharing my link, the link of the stream on my socials. What are you saying? I don't understand what you're saying, bro. All I get from that is glasses and the emoji. Okay, let's start. You already know I'm not. I don't understand Hindi. Oh gosh. I didn't notice that my my sketchbook is already full. I just bought it in like the beginning of the previous month, I guess. So I never finished a sketchbook this fast. I didn't even check if I have any papers left. Give me a second. I will check my old sketchbook. Yeah, I will just use this one. It's actually still new, a new fresh sketchbook. Oh, this one here, it helps me with breathing. Yes, actually I do. Okay, let's start. I tried to change my whole setup, but I just couldn't find any better angle than this. So yeah. Oh, yeah, it's quite expensive, the product and shit. I don't do like a lot of stuff. I just wash my face and put like moisturizer, that's all. So I don't know. Dorian, hello and welcome to the stream. Well, to answer your question, if you want to learn portrait drawing, I would suggest that you start with learning the basics of the portrait. Like for example, here I'm starting with the circle. It's a method from Andrew Loomis, but I'm combining it with different other methods. So try to understand the whole structure of the face before adding the details. Understanding the structure will help you improve a lot better. So instead of trying to copy the reference, try to study it. You will find a video on the channel. Well, I have a whole playlist about how to construct the whole head. I'm still using the same ideas. Probably I'm not using the side circle and stuff, but the general idea is still there. That's why you will always find me starting with the circle. I need to change this screen up here. Yeah. Siba, can you please explain to me why did you start talking in Hindi, even though you know I'm not Indian? Because, well, that happened to me a lot in the university with one of my friends. He starts speaking English and suddenly he starts adding Hindi words. And he even does that to the professor. It's quite confusing. I don't know why. Like many Indians I know, they do that stuff. I just wanna know why. I think I should probably share the link for this reference in the chat. So if you want to draw with me this reference, you can do that. Give me a minute, I will share the link in the chat. Let me find it first. Yeah, it's this reference here. Yes, Dorian Hill. You should focus on the structure. Don't focus on drawing the features yet, because they are just details on top of the reference. So if you focus on understanding the whole structure, like how to construct the head, it's a lot better, because understanding the proportion will help you more than understanding how to draw the features. Because even if you can draw pretty eyes and you don't know how to find their position, it will not matter. But like if you know where to put the eyes first, then understand how to draw the eyes, that will be a lot better. And also it will help you improve a lot faster. Well, that's how I learned drawing. Other people don't like this method. Well, not many, but like some people don't like this method. They call it like I don't know, like something like too constructive. They say that art's meant to be like spontaneous, or I don't know, but like not everyone is born with the challenge to draw portraits or like to copy what they see. So us, the unchallenged people, should learn it in a way that doesn't discourage us, because when I first started, I was trying to copy the reference line by line, curve by curve, which always discouraged me because my drawing always look off compared to the reference. And when I watch videos, like step-by-step videos, I always get confused, because even if I followed the exact same steps, my drawing look completely different from the video I'm watching. So I thought like it should be some other way to practice drawing other than just copy, because when you copy something, you can see that like your drawing doesn't look like what you are trying to draw, and that makes you like feel overwhelmed and discouraged. And compared to that, when you start, like when you try to learn this portrait stuff like from the basics and the structure, you won't get discouraged that much, because you will start with just like basic stuff like lines and stuff. For example, as you can see in the nose, I didn't try to draw the nose. I just I just drew the basic shape of the nose, and after I establish all the proportion of the face, I will add more details to the nose to make it look like an actual nose. So for the start, I'm just blocking the shape because I know that the more details I will add, like the more information I will add to my drawing, the more I will move stuff around. So that's why it's better to start with the basics. Let me see what you wrote, Siba. I was explaining that point is important, that's why I try to explain it. Okay, I was watching the Hindi live before. Okay, I get that. But like I don't know, like, because there was one, like my friend in college, he always starts to talk Hindi randomly. Like he knows that I'm not from India, and he does that to everyone, like even the professor. If he try to answer some question, or like try to to answer some question, he starts with English, and suddenly he starts speaking in Hindi. The professor always like seems shocked, because obviously he cannot understand what he's saying. And the worst part is, I don't know why he even tried to talk in Hindi with like an English professor. Yeah, that's cool. Practicing the basics will always help you. Like, it's important, because like if you can draw a line, if you practice your lines, you can draw squares and stuff. And if you practice your circles, you can draw perfect curves and stuff like that. So like the control, when you are trying to practice the basic shapes, you will learn how to control your hand and like the whole pencil, and your hand will do what you want to do. So yeah, I'm from India. Pick Udia, but I get that. Yo, Kimayata. Welcome to the stream. Let's see where the eyes are located. They're somewhere here, almost aligned with the corner of the mouth. So I'm trying to analyze the whole reference with vertical and horizontal line to see where everything is located. I noticed that I drew this middle third a lot bigger than the lower third. Well, almost. I will just drop it a little down. Yeah, I get that. So you were talking in Hindi, so when you joined my stream, your brain still process everything in Hindi. Well, I appreciate you joining my stream. Okay, let's see, the back of the head is somewhere around this area. And the neck will be here. And the shoulder. When I'm trying to draw shapes, they always end up too dark. I think I'm holding the pencil the wrong way. Can you show me the technique quickly if you don't mind? Yeah, well, if your line are too dark, it's I would assume that you press too hard on your pencil, and usually people when they try to draw, they hold the pencil as if they are writing, because they are used to holding the pencil like this. You will notice that I'm holding it differently. I'm holding it with my like my index and thumb. I'm trying to making loose lines, so if I'm drawing lines, I'm just touching the paper, so I'm not pressing, because like if you compare like this line here with like this line and this one here, you see that this one is a lot darker and this one is like faded. And if I want to correct my line, I will just erase. This one can be completely erased, but this one here, even if I erase it, you can see that it's still dark. I cannot erase it, and it will mess up my whole drawing, and my drawing will start to look messy. So I would recommend learning how to hold the pencil like this. At first it will feel like weird, and you'll be uncomfortable holding the pencil like this, but you will get used to it. Just like take a random paper, like printing paper, that's what I use for my lines, and just sketch some lines. And don't just sketch them mindlessly. Try to at least make them parallel to each other and focus on making the same distance, so that way you are practicing your line quality, as well as your line control, so your eye can measure the distance without actually measuring it with a tool. So that's how I practice the lines. So as you can see, I'm trying as hard as I can to keep these distances similar. So I'm practicing 3 things with just one exercise. And another thing I do, you can do like all direction, diagonal lines, vertical lines, and the most important warm-up I do is the circles. I always draw circles and ovals. That's why you may notice that my circles are like almost perfect, because I drew them every day. like they are part of my warm-up routine. And look what I did. I used this side and it was printed on my sketch. Bijaya, please keep the chat in English because I don't understand what you are saying. So please be respectful. Only English is allowed here, so everyone can join and participate. Thank you. And if you have any question, don't hesitate to ask me. I'd be happy to answer anything. Well, he should say that in English, so I don't like people using other languages because it feels like, well, it's bad to talk with your own language when everyone else cannot understand it. If we allow everyone to talk with their own language, the chat will be a disaster. Nah, no, don't worry about that, Dorian. I hope that what I said makes sense, and I hope that it will help you in your drawing journey. And that's what I care about now, so yeah. I don't like to use this kind of sketchbooks because I have my material on the side, so I have to flip the page in order for me to grab something from the table, so it's really annoying. But it's my bad because I forgot that my sketchbook has already finished yesterday. I didn't check. Well, I didn't check because I didn't thought about I would finish a sketchbook in a month, so I was surprised. Welcome back, Iku. Welcome back. How is your finger still hurt? Oh yeah, well, not a lot, but they are still hurt when I touch something. Thank God I only I burned these 2 fingers on my left hand. If they were on my right hand, I don't think I would stream for a while. Thank you for asking. And yeah, I'm doing well now. It's a lot better than yesterday. Yesterday I couldn't keep the stream on because I was so mad because my hand hurts, and also yesterday drawing didn't come out as I wanted to be, so I was mad. Iku, I would recommend using printing paper, that will be a lot cheaper than using an actual sketchbook, because you are just practicing. You don't have to practice using sketchbook because it will cost you a fortune. Using printing paper is a lot better because, well, you will have 500 papers, you can use them. They are a lot cheaper than buying an actual sketchbook. So don't waste your money on sketchbook when you are just practicing. Well, you can have a sketchbook but only draw on the sketchbook when you feel like drawing something special. But for the practice, only printing paper is enough. Oh, Siba, I forgot to ask, how did you do in your... Was it an audition or competition? I forgot. The music thing. How was it? The angle of the mouth is actually quite off. Now you buy a sketchbook for less than $1, okay. And how much is the printing paper? If the sketchbook is less than $1, then the printing paper should be a lot cheaper than that. But well, it's your decision, you can do whatever. Okay, so the light is coming from this side, so this whole area will be in shadow. And this side of the forehead as well. The eye will be completely in shadow because it's almost closed. I will add more detail to it with the eraser. I think I draw it a lot, like a little bigger. But I think it's okay. I will just move to the second eye. Hello, welcome to the stream. I'm drawing food adulteration. Oh, that's cool. You can share your drawings on the Discord server, and also you can share your socials in the Discord server. We have a dedicated channel for that. Okay, for now I will leave the eyes like this until I figure out how the other stuff. Let's start with the nose. If you want to draw everything, start with the shapes and learn how to simplify, because if you can simplify things with basic shapes, then you can draw anything. Oh, my PC will turn off. I forgot about putting the charger on. So if you learn the how to simplify, like for example, as you can see, like the nose, I started with a box and then I started adding more details to it. If you can learn how to simplify, then you can draw almost anything. Yeah, of course you can simplify the eye in shapes, but you need to understand like the structure of the eye first. Some people draw only with shapes, and I like that method, but sometimes I feel like it's, I don't know, like it's hard for beginner to use, because in order to see those shapes you need to have like a trained eye. It's not easy to see shapes, and usually professional artists recommend a beginner to do that, but it's not easy to do. They can do it because they have practiced a lot, so it comes naturally to them, so they can see the shapes a lot better than a beginner. Because when you try to copy a professional, I believe that you will always get discouraged. Because they have a visual library that comes only with practice. So when you try to do the same steps as they do, like they can simplify the nose with just 2 lines. They understand the structure of the nose. They drew like thousands of noses, so when they try to simplify it, they actually can, because they understand how to draw a proper nose. But when a beginner try to copy their simplification, it doesn't look like their actual, like the professional drawing at all. I'm thinking about reposting that playlist. I will combine all the videos into one and post it. So instead of watching the whole playlist, you can watch just one video. And I will delete the practice side, like the practice, because there is after each explanation there is a practice. Oh, that's why, because to me when I always search for how to draw I always hear simplify into shapes. Yeah, exactly, that's the point I'm trying to explain. And like professional artists usually stress on focusing only on the shapes and stuff like that, but they forget that beginners cannot see the shapes at all. Like for example, let me just grab this reference right here. I think I should put it in Procreate to explain it a lot better. So this reference here, so for a professional artist, let me just change the color, the saturation, where is it? Yeah, I need it black and white. So a professional artist can see these shapes and simplify them. All these shapes can be simplified, like the shadow side and the light side. For a beginner, they cannot and they don't understand that. For example, there is a ball here. Like for the nose, it can be simplified with a circle. And let me just change the color. It can be simplified with a circle because it's almost a circular. It has a circular shape, and you can add straight lines to the bottom. But like I can't do that because I understand the shape of the nose. But like for a beginner, they only see like there is some sort of a line here, and there is a line here, and the nostril here. So they cannot see what's underneath the whole drawing. You know what I mean? Like I can simplify this nose just by, I don't know, like a circle here, because the nostril has a circular shape. But like it's not I'm trying to I will draw it with a circle. My eraser. It's not like I will draw it with a circle, but like the circle is just to map this whole area here, and I know there is another circle here that we cannot see. And when I'm trying to draw the actual lines, I will go, and even though I drew the first circles, I will follow the shapes of this reference, like this area here. Like for example, there is a shape here, and there is also a shape here, and beginners don't understand this kind of stuff. And when they see a professional does that, they try to copy it without the meaning behind it, and it always causes them to make like to see like their drawing it's completely off, and it doesn't look like what the other, like the professional are drawing. And by the way, I just noticed I drew the nose too big, so I will just change it. And beginners also tend to see these lines as random lines because they don't understand the whole structure of the nose, or like the whole structure of the face. That's why I'm stressing about learning the actual structure of the face instead of focusing on the details, because understanding the structure of the face will help you understand how to simplify things. Because as I was explaining on the nose, let me just grab let me see. I need to grab the nose anatomy, and I will show you why I drew this circle with this area with a circular shape. I think I have a picture from my previous tutorial about the nose. I should have it here, I think. Yeah, I have it on Procreate actually because it's on my book. Let me just see. Yeah, it's this one here. Not exactly the anatomy. Let me just show you. Where is it? I would recommend understanding the planes more than the anatomy. So for example, I have like, for example, this nose. I started with understanding like how to simplify it. So I'm not talking about simplifying the detail. Like for example, in this drawing, I simplified the details into smaller shape. But like in drawing, you should always start from big to small, like big ideas to small ideas. So the nose can be simplified into a boxy shape. So you start from big to small. There is no details here. We only have a boxy shape that follows the same perspective of the nose, and this general structure of the nose can be further divided into smaller shapes, and these shapes comes like here. So you went from this nose, this blocky nose, to this one here. Yeah, this is a nose. I will show you in a bit. And then after adding these smaller details, I will add another detail, which is this here, which comes from the planes of the head, because these planes are actually useful to learn how to shade and how to create the nose. So we started from this basic shape and add more details, and then the final details, the final planes. Let me show you how I apply that on one of my drawings. So it's like, for example, I have this nose here. So I started with the basic shape of the nose, which is a box, and it's not an animation. These are layers from my ebook. So I started with this shape and add more detail to come to this end, to this nose, and I can create like other shapes from this nose. Like this is the basic shape, and then we have another nose, which I added a scar in the nose, like, and this one here. So you start with the basic idea of the nose. You start from big to small. Let me see another nose. Like we have another one. You start with the basic idea, and then you add more into it. You start with like this. So I would recommend understanding the planes, and then we don't have to understand to remember the anatomy that well. This is the anatomy of the nose in the skull. So if you only understand the planes, you will get better at drawing, because the planes are more important, I think. Yeah, you can, if you just draw the box. So that's why I stress on learning the basic. What I mean by the basics is just simplifying the basic, like the whole shape into a simple one. So instead of looking at the nose as a nose with the nostrils and the small details and stuff like that, you focus on understanding how you can simplify it into one big shape. You don't have to think about something else other than how you can simplify it into just simple shape. And the simplest shape you can simplify a nose into is a box, and you can apply that into like the whole drawing. So if you spend like a couple of weeks only drawing these basic shapes, trying to understand the whole picture without adding the details, your art will improve immensely. And that's with experience. And yeah, I'm really sure about it because that's what it happened to me and some of my students. And by the way, I just showed you some of the picture from my paid book. They are not in my free ebook, so you're welcome. I should probably make a video explaining how to actually learn as a beginner, because a lot of tutorials are only focusing on, they are only I feel like they assume that you already know the information. So instead of helping you understand how to start to see things differently, they try to explain it as if you already know how it works. And when you try to follow their guide or their tutorial, you feel discouraged because you start questioning yourself, like, why am I not drawing like I'm trying to follow the exact steps, so why my drawing is not looking like the video? And then you start labeling yourself as, well, I'm not talented enough to follow a simple step by step, so I will just quit art in general and stop drawing. Should I do a week of drawing box of each part of the face? Not drawing a box of everything, because like each feature can be simplified with one thing. Like for example, the nose can be simplified with the box. If I would say, you have to leave the feature to the end. So start with the basic shape of the head. Let me just show you what I mean by a basic shape of the head, because I have here a page from my book. So let me just see. So this is what I mean by the basic shape. This page is from my practice sheet. You can use it as an exercise. So this is the basic shape. Well, I'm trying to simplify everything. Yeah, it's also art. Like, it's art in general, because if you learn this stuff, then you can use the other techniques, like drawing from imagination or drawing like from I don't know, with random shapes and stuff. But like when you are just starting out, you still don't have that that skill to actually draw what you are thinking about. So you have to deconstruct, or like learn how to construct the whole head with something that you know. So everyone knows a circle and a line, and you use that to understand the actual structure of the face. And after understanding the structure of the face, then you can move on to draw like from imagination, or like from live model or something like that. But like when you are just starting out, you don't know how to draw, like where to place the eyes and how to actually draw the head you just draw random lines. But like when you use these constructive lines, you actually start to understand how to actually form the head. So let me just show you, like for example, this drawing, I drew it like a while back. It's from this reference. So the practice I'm recommending is like you start with the circle and you draw the cross of the face, and you basically just follow these steps and until you have this shape here. So this is the most simple shape that represent a human head. It doesn't have features, it doesn't have anything, but like this reference here, this like basic head comes from this reference here. So at first you learn how to draw this, and then you start with understanding the features and their proportion, where you place each reference, like not reference, but like where to place each feature, and then you will end up with a drawing, like a full drawing like this one here. Excuse me. So that's what I mean by like starting with the basics. And let me just show you like one of my oldest drawings, because that way you will understand that I'm not talking like randomly with some kind of theory and stuff. I'm talking with experience. So that's how I started, and that's how I actually learned how to draw. And I started from like, I never been to art school, or I never been called an artist or something like that. I started back in 2023, and I started from scratch. Like I started with circles and lines and stuff like that. Let me just show you one of my drawings because it's really interesting. It shows you like what I'm talking about actually works. So yeah, this is my first practice. It's this one. This is my first attempt to draw and learn to actually draw. So this is how I used to draw, and compare this profile view with, where is it? Let me just find the previous reference. Yeah, this one here. So this is how much I improved. I started from this point here and reached this one here, and now I'm able to make these kind of drawings. So I know what I'm talking about. It's not just some random stuff. This stuff actually comes from experience and trial and error, so it's not like something random. How to learn as a beginner is very useful. I think a lot of people are lost to where to go and where to start. Yeah, exactly. It will be so useful to make. I was actually planning to make it like this week, but like because I was sick, I wasn't able to make that video, so I'm sorry about that. But like I will for sure make a video like that, because I know people are like, many beginners think about giving up about the whole drawing because they feel discouraged and they don't like what they are like. They are not proud with their progress or like their drawing in general, because they don't know how to start. They follow some random tutorials which tells you like to not draw with constructive lines. And by the way, this is not the grid method, so this helps you a lot to start learning, like start to draw from imagination and stuff like that. but the grid method, it helps you with the rendering and stuff, but I wouldn't recommend using it because you will not learn much about the structure. Why? Well, actually, I never asked myself that question exactly. I just wanted to create. So, back in 2023, I decided that I wanted to pursue something creative. At first, I started with photography, and then I switched to drawing. I started with digital drawing, but I enjoyed traditional drawing more. I hope my point is clear, and if you have any question, just let me know and I will try my best to answer it. And I hope my experience can help you a bit. This side is very annoying. I cannot. Yeah, I need to buy another sketchbook other than this one. And also I noticed that a lot of beginners try to jump into shading and stuff, and they don't understand that in order to learn portrait drawing, they have to go from one step to the other slowly. So it's not like just jump in and try to replicate the reference or follow a tutorial. Like, for example, if you are watching me and trying to follow this exact step, well, I'm telling you that you shouldn't do that. Well, you can do that if you already understand the structure. If not, I wouldn't recommend that. I would recommend starting with the basic head, as I showed you in that example, the blue and pink. If you focus on just drawing the basic head, you will understand the structure. Like when I first started drawing the basic head, I started looking at people differently. Like, instead of just seeing the features and seeing the actual face of the person, I just look at a face and see circles and shapes. So I was obsessed with understanding those shapes to the point where I just see shapes instead of people. Well, I still see them that way, but like at first it was weird, but like I get used to it. And when I'm going out, I usually, well, I wouldn't call it stare at people, but like I keep looking at their faces because, well, everyone's face is unique, so I like that, and I like to analyze their features and their faces. It's actually good, I think, but hopefully it doesn't cause me any trouble, because people will think that I'm staring at them. Well, actually I am, but like I'm just trying to imagine how it would be to draw that face, and that's all. Guilty of doing that, and you guys know how it ended up. Yeah, exactly, I saw your drawing. Well, buddy, focus on the basic head and then you can move on to some other steps. I know this stuff because I have been there, because when I first started I tried to copy a lot of, famous artists and trying to use their methods, but I it only makes me like feel angry and like about myself, because I don't have the talent to draw what they are drawing. I labeled myself as a non-talented because I couldn't follow the steps. I couldn't do what they are doing, even though I'm watching a video, and I almost gave up, which is sad, because if I did give up that moment, I would have never reached the point where I am now right now. You wouldn't watch my stream right now and hear me talk about this stuff. So I'm glad I didn't give up. I'm glad I found this technique. How about the body? To me, I didn't try to draw it before. It's way complected, like the curves of the muscle. Well, it's the same thing. It's the same principle. Like as I told you before, if you learn how to simplify things, you can draw anything. So this learning about this portrait stuff, it can also help you with drawing figures and like anything, because you just apply the same principle into figures, because you will just simplify what you are seeing in front of you, and that's all. So even if the figures looks like complex, you can just simplify it with boxes. You start with like curves for dynamic poses, and then you simplify the whole things with like the rib cage and stuff like that. You simplify it with just boxes, just to establish the right proportion, and after establishing the right proportion, then you can add more details into it. But I'm not saying that anatomy is not important. It is important, but like it's not the first stage you should learn about. You should always learn anatomy and understanding how it works, but like not at the it's not the first stage. Learning how to simplify is a lot important than the anatomy, because when you understand how to simplify things, you can draw the proportion will always be right, and that's more important. After fixing the proportion and your drawing doesn't look distorted or something like that, then you can move on to understanding the anatomy and to add in more details. For now, I'm trying to study the true values. That's why I'm only separating the dark from the light. So that's why I'm trying to talk about saying about simplification. So I'm learning to simplify the two values before I move on to more values. Does that apply to drawing landscape and fruit too? Well, fruits, yes. Landscape, well, I don't know, because I'm trying to only share my experience, so I don't have any experience with landscapes. So I'm sorry, I don't have an answer to that. I try to only answer what I know from my own experience, and not trying to look that I'm an expert or something like that. I hate that kind of stuff. So if I don't know something, I proudly say so, because it's a lot better to tell you that I don't know than trying to say some random stuff that I don't know what I'm talking about. But for the fruits, yes, you can simplify them with basic shapes as well. Because if you think about fruits, they are just basic shapes. Yeah, they are organic shapes, but like if you look at them like closely, you can see the bigger picture. Like for example, an apple, it's not a full circle, but still it has the characteristic of a circle. So you can start with the circle and then carve your details in. So that's what simplification is. You start with the bigger picture and then add more details to it, curves, line, stuff like that. But if I can give you one more advice, don't try to learn everything all at once. That will only confuse you, especially when you are just a beginner. Try to focus on just one thing to learn. So for example, if you want to draw portraits and figures and stuff like that, well, focus only on one. For example, focus on understanding the portraits. Because if you start with the portraits, for example, you will learn how to simplify, as well as your line quality will improve. So you will take that with you when you start like the figures. But like if you try to learn it all at once, you will be confused because you will not put enough practice or like enough time into one thing. So yeah, it's better to start with one thing and then move on to the other after understanding its basics. I don't like this new sketchbook. I hope that makes sense, and I hope that help you a little. Maybe it help you, maybe not. I don't know. That's my point, my experience to you. Okay, thanks a lot. You're welcome. I'm glad I helped you. Are you in the Discord server? If you are in the Discord server, you can share your drawing there and receive feedback. and don't worry if your drawings doesn't look like what you want them to be, because that happens all the times. So I promise you it's not the end of it. Even if you learn about all this kind of stuff, it will not be the end. You will always face that. You will always feel like your drawings are not good enough. Everyone feels that. But even if you feel that way, well, the more you draw, the less you will care about feeling that way. But like when you draw something good, you will see it as good. You will feel that you did something great, and your practice actually was a good practice. So like for example, when every time I look at my previous drawing, like this one here, and I compare it to like what I'm drawing at the moment, it gives me like some sort of relief, because I say to myself like, at least it doesn't look like my earliest sketches. So even if I want my drawings to look a lot better, I cannot change that stuff. Well, I can with practicing, but like if my drawing is better than like my previous, that's a progress. Yes, I can draw. Let me see if I can find one of my drawings. Like let me just see if I can see it, if I can find it. I actually have it in one of my books, the free book. You can find the link in the description. I have one like step-by-step drawing of Tanjiro. Let me show you from here. Okay, let me see. No, yeah, it's working. So this is the free ebook. You can find the link for this free ebook. It's the first link in the description. Let me just show you some of the pages. Okay, how this works, I don't know how this stuff works, but like I try to talk about these, like the basic stuff. So like the basic head, I'm using my own reference, by the way. Perspective, proportion, placement of the feature, and the planes. And there is my self-portrait, and this is the point I was talking about earlier, about how beginners see a reference compared to an artist. So an artist try to see the shapes and the lines, but beginners only see the contour lines. Okay, let me just see. And I covered like how anime and stylized works compared to a normal reference. Yeah, so this is an anime drawing, and I did the same steps, starting with the circle and all that stuff here. So starting with the circle, the thirds, and the basic head, and then the proportion, the basic shape of the hair. Then I drew the features and separate the dark from the light and end up with this drawing here. So this technique can help you draw anything, as I said. And by the way, if you are interested in this ebook, you can actually get it for free. It shows you how to draw the eyes and like, well, everything. Also, this is how I simplify the ears. Is simply just a 9 and the letter Y. So start with the 9 and the Y, and then you add the contour lines to end up with this ear here. And yeah, there is the reference, and there is the roadmap to practice. You start as a beginner. The first thing you have to practice is the basic shapes, and from the basic shapes like circles, lines and stuff like that, you move to the basic head. After understanding the basic head, you go through the placement. You learn about the proportion and how to find the proportion of like the features, and then you study the features individually, starting with the eyes, then the nose, mouth, ears. Well, as you can see here, I'm trying to draw them with the planes. And after understanding all this stuff, you move on to the planes of the head from Asaro's head, and then you learn how to sketch a portrait, and that's all. When you reach this point, you start learning about the values, and with practice, and you have to be patient about it, and you will be a professional. And that's all. And again, this book is let me just see. Yeah, if you go to the link in this description, it will take you to this website here. It's Gumroad, and it's already 3,000, almost 360, 600 people downloaded my free ebook with 4.9 rating. You just you can write anything here. Well, not anything, but like I leave it empty because, well, some people leave donation. If you want to take it for free, just write 0 and you will find like I want this. It's not purchase again because I already took it. It's here. So like you press I want this and add your email to receive it. And by the way, I said Asaro's head. This is the reference I'm using for Asaro's head for the planes. I hope this was helpful. Let me see what you said. Oh yeah, I think I'm not trying to learn everything at once. For now, I focus on drawing the faces, and yes, I didn't draw for a while, but yeah, okay, yeah, that's cool. You can start to whenever, and whenever you start, you can just share your drawings in the Discord server. You are most welcome there. I will try to give you feedback. Yeah, exactly. That's the worst part of it. Like, I think I need to change this. Oh no. The worst part of it, when you start practicing and you take a break, you start to lose what you have. It's like a muscle. So imagine you are going to the gym. You built some, I don't know, some Greek god physique or something like that for like years. So think about like if you stopped going to the gym for like, I don't know, like 2 years, you will start losing the muscle you gained. And when you go to the gym, if let's say you bench, I don't know, like 100 kilos, if you go back after 2 years of a break and try to bench like 100 kilos, you will not do that. You cannot. It's impossible. You feel like it's too hard to do, like to bench that many. Like it's too hard. So it's similar in drawing, because once you have, when you start drawing, you start building your like muscle memory and stuff like that, and your hand gets used to drawing, so you don't think that much. But like when you take a break, you start to forget how to draw the things you used to draw. And well, it happens to everyone. It happened to me like just recently, because I took a break for almost a year and a half, and when I back at drawing, my portraits were off. Like it, like I was like mad, like you said, but like I knew that I knew where the problem was. So like I knew that the reason why my drawings are currently off, it's because I stopped practicing for a while, and I knew that once I start practicing, I will start like I will reach my old level at a higher speed. Like for example, as I was given the example of like when you are training at the gym, if you lose your muscle in 2 years, once you start training again, you will start building from like the lighter weights. You start building yourself again. It will not take you the same time as it did at the first time. So like if building that physique, the first one took you about, I don't know, some 4 years, 5 years or something like that, when you stop for 2 years and get back to lifting weight again, I think it will only take you about less than a year to reach the same level you were at once. So that's what like good about it. You just have to be patient, and even though you feel like it's not your level anymore and you want to reach at least the level you used to be, if you keep thinking that way, you will give up on practicing because you are not proud with your current drawings. And well, the only way to reach your oldest level, or like to reach the level you used to be, and to even be better, is by practicing. And if you don't practice and keep like telling yourself, oh, I used to be better than this, what's wrong with me, well, that will not help you at all. You will be stuck forever, and you will just give up and ruin the whole potential you have, just because you don't feel like you don't feel like facing the fact that you stop a year. It doesn't matter, I will start again. So even if I lose all my practice, I will like my progress, I will just do it again and again and again. It doesn't matter, I will be there someday. I will reach the level I want to be at. So yeah, that's okay. It does go back faster than it, yeah, exactly, it does go back faster than it took to gain. Yeah, if it took you like 4 years, you will gain it in less than a year or so. I don't know, I'm not an expert in gym or like lifting weights, but like I believe that I know it's true because it happens with many other stuff. How do I get your ebook? Well, you go to the link in the description. It's the first link, and yeah, let me just show you again, and I will use incognito so that you can see how it will look at your, like, on your end. So this is, let me just, okay, no. So this is the live stream here. So you go to the description, you will find there is the first link here. Download my ebook for free. There is the free ebook, and I have the paid ebook below. And to join the Discord, you find the link here, the references and stuff like that. So anyway, the free ebook is the first link. You click that, it will take you to this website. Name a fair price. Well, if you can leave a donation, that would be amazing, but like if not, you just write 0 and press I want this. It will take you to this page here. You can write your email address here at gmail.com, and you click get. It will give you this one, like it's just an upsell for my first ebook. You can press continue without adding, or press the X button. Well, you press the continue without adding, and then it will be sent to your inbox. You will get with this, let me just show you. You will also get the practice sheet. Let me show you. View content. So it will be something like this. The exercise sheet sample, you will have one for each feature. So the portrait practice sheet, it goes like this. Well, you have only 5, I guess. Yeah, 5 exercise sheets. So this one is for the basic head. To practice the basic head, you can just print it. I'm just giving you a sample because I sell it with my like paid ebook. I have 100 practice sheets like this, and you have also the eye and the nose, and yeah, all the features with simple steps, and also my drawing of the references. And we have the ear with the steps as well. And well, this is just a promotion to my paid ebook. This is the first volume and the second volume, and I guess yeah, that's all. So okay, so if I don't want to draw every day, sometimes it's hard to, yeah, something like that. You don't have to draw daily because, well, there is life. I totally get that, but even if you don't draw daily, you can draw like on a Sunday or something like that, and you only lose it when you take like, I don't know, like couple of months, but like just a day or two, or like 1 week, it doesn't matter that much. So you can sketch like for example the basic head I just showed you earlier. You can just sketch it, so you can do, like as I said, the lines and stuff, and the basic head is like just a couple of lines, so it goes like this. So something like this and this, and you connect the jaw. So here is a drawing, but like you don't do it from imagination. Like I can't draw it from imagination because I drew this basic head like 1,000 times, but you should always use a reference. That's why I have this exercise sheet here. Let me just show you this page. You have a reference with a basic shape on top of it. Well, I use this basic shape on top of it to help you see what I'm seeing. So I'm trying to help you to like practice to see the word like the references a bit differently. I could have like used just a reference without this basic head on top, but like it won't be it will not give you the whole idea. It will only like, it will help you a bit, but like when like with these lines you can actually understand what I'm seeing. So you can just copy it next to it for all these references here and call it a day, and the steps are here. So even just one or like a couple of basic heads like this from a reference, you can do like one in like about 5 minutes or less than 5 minutes, just one basic head. If you cannot draw for like the whole week, you can do it like once a week, like on a Sunday or something like that. You draw for like 10 minutes or like 30 minutes. You can draw like about 20 or like 10 of these basic heads. And what's good about these, it's like it will reshape how you see the references or like the faces. Bye Iku, see you tomorrow. Well, I was saying it will help you see people or like references differently. If when you start to draw these lines, whenever you see a face in front of you, you will start see the whole, like the whole person. Like when they are trying to talk to you, you will imagine as if they have this basic head on top of them as like a helmet or something. So it helps you practice, even though you are not practicing like with your pencil, but like you are practicing your visual skill. So whenever you see a reference, you can actually see these basic heads or like these lines on top of their head as a helmet or something like that. And the more you do it, the normal it goes, like the normal it will be for you to actually see these lines and simplify the reference. I hope that makes sense, and you're welcome, Dorian. I hope you find my ebook useful. Okay, you still have it's a tournament. Well, good luck with that. Good luck with that. I think that's it for today's session. I only drew one portrait because, well, I don't like this new sketchbook. I probably should buy a new one. But anyway, I hope I answered all your questions, and if you need anything else, you can just, like, if you have any question, just send it in the chat, or like if you watch this after finishing the stream, you can just leave a comment. And yeah, that's it. Just leave a comment there, and I will be checking the comment and answering what you asked. But like, anyway, yeah, the train, I'm running again. Well, thank you guys for joining. I hope I see you in the next one. Take care. Yeah, you're welcome, guys. See ya.